Kalutara's Richmond Castle rises like a vision from another time, an echo of a world built on pride, ambition, and aching solitude. Its yellowing Italian tile floors and stained glass wines speak louder than the brochures. They whisper of a man whose life once pulsed through these silent corridors. Mudaliya Pandikara Mudali Nanayakkara Rajavansala Appuhamilage Don Arthur de Silva Vijayasinghe Siriwardena. Siriwardena was not a man born into obscurity. Born in 1889 to a wealthy landowning family, his life was one carved into colonial privilege and ambition. His education in Britain, at a time when most locals barely saw past the borders of their village, shaped him into a curious hybrid. Fluent in English decorum, but deeply rooted in Sri Lankan tradition, he was a man who moved easily between palanquins and dinner courts, between Buddhist rituals and imperial banquets. The story of Richmond Castle and Siriwardena himself begins not in Kalutara but in India, specifically at the palace of Raja of Rammanandan, a friend from his school days. Legend says that Siriwardena was so enamored by the design of Raja's estate that he asked for the blueprints. When denied, he did what any determined man with means would do. He quietly copied them, brick by brick. Whether myth or truth, this anecdote sets the tone for the Mudaliya's character: ambitious, confident, and perhaps a touch obstinate. Construction of Richmond Castle began in the early 1900s. By the time it was completed in 1910, it had become a marvel of its time. 16 rooms, 99 doors, 34 stained glass windows from Scotland, and intricate Burmese teak carvings throughout. The walls, however, were more than decorative. They were theatrical. Designed for grand occasions, the castle came alive at night with the glow of oil lamps, the shuffle of silk shoes, and the rustle of gossip. The Mudaliya knew how to host. The Prince and Princess of Wales are said to have dined here. Guests arrived in special trains. White horses pulled carriages through the front gate, and there was a private troupe of performers and a small army of guards clad in elaborate uniforms. Yet behind the spectacle lay a quieter story. At the age of 21, Siriwardena married Clarice Matilda Maud Surya Bandara, a union that began with fireworks and ended with silence. For 32 years they shared this gilded mansion, but they never had children, a loss that seemed to gnaw at the Mudaliya's heart in private. Around the garden, marble statues of children still stand. Some say they were placed there as a tribute to the family he longed but never had. He eventually moved away, spending his final years in Kandy, far removed from the grandeur he once built. When he died in 1947, he left Richmond Castle not to a relative or friend but to the public trustee of Ceylon with a singular request that it be turned into a children's home. It was a final, poignant gesture from a man whose wealth could not buy what he most desired. Today, the castle still carries out that mission in part, a fragment of his vision still breathing. Walking through Richmond Castle now, past the latticework balconies and the dance halls that once echoed with the shuffle of leather boots, it's not difficult to feel his presence. Siriwardena wasn't a hero or a villain. He was a man who wanted to build a kingdom for himself in a time of empires and shifting sands. He succeeded, though it didn't last in the way he intended. Richmond Castle stands today as both a monument and a memoir, not just to a man, but to a time, a hope, and the strange quiet cost of legacy.